Hello. You can find me at 360.diva on Instagram, and you can also find me on Humble Dad on Monday nights. My last injury, I fractured my ankle and didn't know it. And I was walking around limping. Think about trying to drive with that one foot, and it's just paining the whole entire ship, and you don't know what's wrong.
How
That
did
was
you
my
do it?
last injury.
How did you
Huh?
do it? How did you do it?
I had failed supervising trying to get somebody turned around over there on West Tommy in Houston. And over there the streets is kind of rocky. And being that it's night, I'm not paying attention. I'm just trying to hurry up, get them turned around. And yeah, I went down with the turnaround. Yeah,
Well, appreciate you
yeah,
for being here as usual.
no
we go.
problem.
We want to go. Welcome to the stage. Lost in translation. What up, homie?
Good evening. How you doing, HD?
I'm doing well, bro. How about
Good.
yourself?
Good. I'm well, man. Can't complain.
That's what's up. You got the question?
Yeah, man. The
You
last
already laughing.
yeah, man. Because it's something when you get old, man, stuff just stop working, man. You know
It
what I'm
does
saying?
seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I hurt myself, man, was my doggone foot, man. Let me tell you, I was walking and all of a sudden it just went out. I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? You just wake up in the morning, stuff just don't work anymore. You know what I mean? I didn't hurt it. I didn't roll over or anything like that. Just woke up and it just decided it didn't want to work this morning. So
Dang, that's
I don't
crazy. How
even know
long
how
ago
I
was that?
hurt it, man. You know,
How long ago was that?
probably about 2 years ago, man. I
Oh,
really don't hurt myself that much because I'm real careful. You know, when you get up in age, man, you can't be around here, tearing stuff up, man, because stuff don't heal like it used to. So,
it does.
you kind of move a little bit slower. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey,
Right.
welcome to the stage, Miss Lady Di. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How are you? Long
I'm good,
time, long time.
no doubt. But hey, welcome.
Let me tell you, I've been sick in and out for a while, but that's not an injury. But
It
uh,
could be.
it can be. So let me think. My last injury was, I would say, my lower back. I always had issues with that. Realized that it wasn't what I thought it was, and which is, when you lift heavy boxes and those things, you would think that it would stem from that, but it wasn't. It was actually taking birth control. This is just TMI for anyone that is on birth control or thinking about it. I was on birth control, and when I stopped taking birth control, my pain in my lower back stopped within a month, and I've never had back lower back pain since.
Hmm.
But
Wow.
why I stopped taking it, preparing for a family. But before I stopped taking it was so bad that I couldn't even walk up the stairs. It was crazy. So I went to see a doctor to see what was going on. They did an X-ray, and they didn't really see much. So I don't know. It just happened to be that I was preparing for a family, so it worked out. But yeah, so that it was insane. I never knew that back pain would be so painful. But
Dang. Even more than when you was pregnant.
mhm. Yeah,
Oh
it's
wow.
no joke. It's like sharp pain. It's like somebody stabbing you in your back. I don't know. Just think of a sharp, like not even a pinch. It's deeper. So it's like a sharp pain inside that you can't really fix. You could try the warm compress or whatever, but that stuff doesn't work.
Dang.
Pills, it works off and on, but it really don't work.
Dang. Whew. Okay. Let's see if anybody can beat that. What you got, prototype?
Um, Man, I hurt my lower back too, but I did it in a deadlifting competition. So, uh, I
Dang.
mean, it wasn't that bad. It did take a long time to recover. Like I'm
What
still
was
working
you
on it
lifting?
now.
What was the amount?
I stopped around 500, but that's it's not generally how where I stop at. But that's when my back was like, hey, we're gonna stop right here, brother. So
What? How
yeah,
long ago was that?
a year ago.
Really? So you
Yeah,
still powerlifting?
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. You be showing these videos all the time about your
yeah.
powerlifting
I'm not gonna stop.
with
I
these
have to.
fake weights on and everything. But we got
Facts. Yeah. See if you can lift them.
you. I can't at all. I can lift some fake weights for sure all day.
But Yeah, I mean, I still like, I don't go as hard. Like probably today was like the first time I like actually free weighted squatted in a while. I've been using like Smith machines and stuff like that. And I used to talk bad about people who use the Smith machine. Like I'll never use the Smith machine. Like that's weak. But no, I'm on that bad boy all the time now.
Is it because of age?
Maybe I don't want to say that.
No
Own
worries.
it. Own it.
No worries. Hey, here we go. Welcome to the stage. Mistaken. How we doing? You don't, okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm
No worries.
good. How are you? How's
I'm doing
everyone
well.
doing? Good.
Doing well.
My most recent injury, I would say, was in August when I was on vacation and was walking on like a cobblestone that was kind of on a hill, and my foot just kind of tilted over to the side, and I messed up the side of my foot right before the day that we were renewing our vows. So it was a beach wedding, so we had to have shoes off. So I had to kind of make sure I angled my foot a certain way so my messed up foot wouldn't be in any of your pictures. So
that was recent. That was this past.
Yeah, that was in August. Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover?
Actually, I would say maybe within the last month. Like I couldn't go get pedicures, nothing. It was my foot was looking a hot mess. Lord Jesus.
Oh yeah, Prototype would talk bad about you on that one.
Yeah. I don't know what they were saying, but they were sure like trying to buff it out.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you being here as usual. It's gonna be a good one. All right. Welcome to the stage, Brandon. You're on mute.
I almost get pulled as well. Right. Oh yeah. So what's going on, HD?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Much better.
Oh yeah.
Much better. Yeah. So I think we're gonna keep it on the road here. My last injury was also my back. Workout injury. I wasn't even doing nothing crazy, man. I was just doing a squat, seated squat, sat back down, back spasm, took me out for a week, man. Took me out for a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to get muscle relaxers and everything.
Well, at least it was you was actually being active. You know what I'm saying? So you can attribute it to that. Man, mine, I woke up out the bed and my ankle, I just could not step on my ankle. Like it was nothing, it was nothing that I did. And no, because later on in the day, as I continued to walk on it, it was fine. It was like, just getting older, I guess. And I don't stretch my ankles, but I work out. We work out every day, like at least 4 or 5 days a week, me and my wife. But for whatever reason, that particular day, I woke up and my ankle was just gave out on me. Lost in translation, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I guess when you gotta watch out for your ankles and your back.
Oh yeah,
basically, yeah.
Those are the two.
That's what we saying. What you about to say, Lady Dy?
I was gonna say, can you have a Charlie horse in your ankle?
Oh, I don't know.
If you're dehydrated, you can. Yeah.
It'd have been that because Charlie horse only lasts for that period of time and then it goes away.
I didn't think about that. It might have been, but that's weird. But it was the one that was when I turned 40. That one was crazy. I was trying to hurry up and get to the airport, going through the check where they check your bags, and I took off my shoe and ended up twisting my knee. And so I'm having to sit down on the plane when I had just pulled my knee, and that was birthday weekend right there too. So I was out of commission for a little bit. So yeah, age does something to you, even when you're working out. You know what I'm saying? So once again, appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna be talking about leaving the crumbs. Love their crumbs, and we'll talk about what that means. But before that, I want to talk about what love language is the most popular in the U.S. What do you think the most popular love language is? Don't look it up either. You know what I'm saying?
Acts of service.
You going with acts of service?
Yeah, I'm going with that one. Because people are just generally lazy. In general, they want somebody else to do their work. So yeah.
I would go acts of service too for men. I would go with gifts and what's the other one?
Physical
So
touch.
if you don't know, the ones that they are is acts of service, gift giving, physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation. Words of
So
Affirmation.
Yeah, I was gonna
Gift
say
giving for me.
probably with the way society is going or has been, I would say gift giving. Everybody's expecting something. So
gift giving.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Who hasn't went?
I would say for because there's more women than men in the country, uh it's probably words of affirmation for for women.
Words of affirmation. Okay. Brandon, what you got?
That's probably not fair because I kind of do this for a living, but I'll probably say something like quality time is probably the most popular across the board.
Okay. Why you say that?
There's more women than men, and women love your time.
But it says America though. So just so you say
They're not asking no. You going to rural India and asking what your love language is? Is that what they're doing?
I'm just saying, I'm saying it's for the America, but y'all say because there's more women, then we just go say that.
I'm just gonna say that.
Okay, got you. Anybody else? That's everybody. What lady what'd you say?
Well, for ladies, I think it's words of affirmation. They always want to be told sweet nothings, and it'd be a whole bunch of BS. But they like to hear it though. So
Interesting. Is that what you were
that's
saying?
not
Purple?
mine, but I'm just saying I think that's what it would be across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, most women want to either hear, what I'm saying. But for men, I would definitely say it's probably acts of service.
Well, I have
I
a
agree with that.
question. If we say gift giving, because I think now we're in this exchange kind of economy when it comes to relationships, like this day and age with this generation. So the reason I say gift giving, I would say because what is portrayed is that women are like, wanting money, wanting gifts, wanting trips, wanting, that kind of stuff. But I guess the question is, since it's an exchange economy for men, since, a lot of times it's talked about going to dinner, paying for a dinner in exchange wanting sex, would that technically be a gift or would that be physical touch?
That would probably
It's
be an act of
physical touch.
service.
No, that's what?
That's definitely physical touch.
I would
Even
say
though
Put it
that's
it's an
act of
plain.
exchange
service.
of service,
Even
even though
though
it's
the sex
being
is
used as an exchange of service, you would still say it would be physical touch and not necessarily gift giving.
I would say it's the act of service.
Like I
Oh
said
my
earlier.
gosh. It's
Like I
considered
said earlier, acts of
quality
service.
time.
it's considered
Quality
physical
time.
touch. Brandon, what'd you say?
Okay.
It says quality time. But no, I was gonna say the physical touch part is it's supposed to be non-sexual touch.
Okay.
Technically, that's what it's supposed to be, non-sexual touch.
You think so? Oh yeah,
No,
you probably know more.
not
Yeah, you
yeah,
know
that's
more.
what it's supposed to be. The dude who wrote the thing was like, it's supposed to be like non-sexual touch.
Okay.
Hand through the hair, rub on the back.
So then what would sex be then?
Sex.
That's why I said it would be a gift because it's an exchange.
Depending on how
Act
you
of service.
Sex
we
is
can,
a
we can all frame, we can
What
frame
an
it however we want
interesting
to.
dynamic.
It's an act of service, it's an affirmation, it's a what I'm saying, quality time.
Gifts are normally something that you haven't had and now you have it and you just cherish it for the moment and then you get rid of it most of the time after a couple of years. I don't think sex is that.
You just
Well, I mean,
you just
Interesting.
described some marriages we just heard that we talked about on the regular.
Golly.
I'm just saying.
Ash, what you about to say?
I was gonna say, baby, sometime after that first date, it's a wrap. They done got the service performed that they needed for the gift, which is the dinner, and hey, it's time to move on to the next one. See what else, what other thing is out there is gripping, whatnot.
Huh, so we saying that sex could be all five is what it sounds like.
Yeah, in my book, yeah, it
And
just
it depends on the
who.
individual.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought about that. But the number one in US is quality time.
Mm.
Is the number one thing is quality time.
Boo, boring.
Why is that boring, prototype? Yeah.
That's my number one.
Yeah.
It's
What's
just not
quality
one of the
time?
sexier picks. That's all.
It's not sexy. But we saying that though, if you have sex, that's a part of quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Not
Okay.
really.
It don't get no more quality than that.
You
Let's be honest about that thing. You know what I'm saying?
please, prototype. What you talking
Ooh.
about?
Because
So what-
I mean, like quality time is doing stuff. To me, it's kind of like non-sexual together. You know what I'm saying? It's walks in the park. Quality time is going out to dinner and enjoying laughs, going to comedy clubs. It's hanging out and cooking a meal together. It's what I'm saying, building I don't know, building popsicle stick houses. You know what I mean? Doing
Oh,
Mm,
that
gingerbread
sounds
houses.
sexy.
okay.
It's putting up your tree together. It's decorating the house. It's painting the wall. Like that's quality time.
I see you.
But walk in the park was on the list. That's not what they doing. So we're not doing that one.
But I mean, it's going to family events. You know what I mean? It's meeting their dad. It's having conversations with their mom. It's family over. It's Thanksgiving. It's what I mean. That's quality time to me. Watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? Talking about people randomly. That's quality time.
Who y'all be talking about randomly? Prototype?
Everybody.
People watching.
People
Listen, ain't
watching.
nothing like pillow talk. Like pillow talk, I would give you that. Like that's non-sexual, but the pillow talk and the conversation, I can rock with that. Brandon, you had something to add to that?
No, I was a good. I was going to ask what would be quality time for us. So I was thinking just having a good intimate conversation about not something non-sexual. You just having like a deep conversation, exploring your thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. That's
Emotional
definitely,
intimacy, right? Like
yes,
you know what I'm
that's
saying. So,
definitely quality time.
I
So
know
is that? Go
quality
ahead.
time encompasses sometimes some of the other aspects of the love language because I know when we're spending quality time, there is physical touch involved. Like it could be holding hands, it could be, babe, give me a kiss, stuff like that. Because in a moment, you're feeling, like he said, intimate. So you're doing intimate things. So I would say my quality time also includes um touch.
That's good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it would be quality time because we're so busy, man. You know what I mean? If you start thinking about job, kids, you know what I mean, all these other functions or whatever, it's real hard to get that one-on-one quality time. I think that's probably the reason why
Yeah.
it's at the top.
I mean, even with the kids, though, that's a part of quality time too.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff with the kids, giving group hugs, or what I'm saying, just making sure. One like even today, like my wife was, doing doing going over homework, and I put dinner together. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's a form of quality time. You know what I'm saying? To make sure
Right.
we have time afterwards. Like you know what I mean? So
Well, that would be considered
That would
acts
be
of
acts.
service.
that would be more of an act of service.
Yeah.
But once y'all came to the dinner table, then that was your quality time,
But right.
which connects to each other. And they say that everybody has at least two, and that they connect to the most. So, what would you all say yours is?
I mean,
Mine
man's
is
is acts of service and then physical touch, but
Okay.
same.
Mine is time. Mine is time and physical touch. Like to me, I like to spend time. Like any day not behind the wheel, that's my kind of day. Any day of just doing nothing.
Mm.
And that's
That's my
unusual to hear.
day.
What'd you say, Brandon?
That's unusual to hear from a woman.
What?
Not like liking not doing stuff.
that is normal.
Here you
No,
go. When I'm behind that
Women
wheel
don't
and
like
I'm
to do
trying to run a
nothing.
schedule, baby, when I
Okay.
get off, that's I don't want
No,
to
we
do.
like to do stuff. It's just the stuff that y'all want us to do. We don't like.
Y'all, a woman would stay in the bed all day and do nothing if she had the option. Like that's a normal thing for women.
If I had the option
I
just to
never heard
do
of
the
that.
things that I want to do, I stay busy. Like I like doing projects around the house. I like going shopping. I like going to the movies. I like taking myself out on a date to eat out. Like We like doing stuff. Go get your nails done, get a massage. Like, we like doing stuff. It's just the stuff that we have to do. That's different. Doing stuff that you want to do versus the stuff that you have to do.
That's hilarious. Okay, so you're saying that you like doing stuff, it's just not the stuff that we be liking to do. That's interesting, but that's a different conversation. Because that's a good talk right there. I gotta put a moment of notice to talk about that one for sure. What's yours, lost in translation?
Physical touch and quality time. And
okay, that's what you said. And
you
Lady
keep
Di?
your gifts. You can keep your acts of service. You can keep all that other stuff. I don't need no affirmation. You know what I'm saying? I am him, so I don't need that. Just give me what I can't give me as physical touch and quality time.
Got you. Lady Di, why you laughing like that?
Because that was real. Because I'm the same with give me what I can't give myself. So whatever that is, that's what I like. I'm not really into the love languages, but I like, that's how I am. Whatever I can't give myself is what I want.
Well, you can give yourself all of those things. When you think about it.
Physical touch.
Like, absolutely.
That's not the same as my husband doing it.
It's not.
No, it's not.
There's
no, I'm saying it's not, but it's still stuff that she could do herself.
No,
like acts of service, anything that you probably you understand what I'm saying?
No,
it
like
means more coming from the other person. That's what makes it better.
It don't mean more. It's just different. You ever gave yourself a head massage versus someone else giving you a head massage?
Mm-hmm.
Or, when you pay, if you decide to pay for dinner versus your husband paying for dinner, like it's different. Or like Prototype, he said he cooked dinner. Him cooking dinner versus her cooking dinner is different. The food tastes different. The love is different. It's just all different. So it makes it better in that way. But it's just not coming from yourself, because we could do a lot of stuff ourselves because we're adults. But that's the point of getting with somebody, right? To get married is to get something different.
I was looking at it literally.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
She
literally.
was. Yeah, you could. Yeah, the whole point of the love language obviously is like what other people do for you, even though these are things you could do for yourself, and they are therefore it makes it more enjoyable and appreciative because somebody's doing it for you. Brandon, I think Brandon, did you say what yours was?
I said it was acts of service and physical touch.
Okay. Yeah, and did you go, Ash?
Yes.
Okay.
Quality time and me doing nothing.
Quality time and acts of service.
That's what's up. I think I got all of them to some degree. To be honest, for me, if I had to choose, though, I really enjoy when my wife bring me back home like some Sour Patch Kids. You know what I'm saying? Like just the little things that because I won't buy myself stuff really. And so the other day she bought me she made some chili off the Chizane, right? And she know I like Frito pie. So what she do? She got the Fritos, you know what I'm saying, the barbecue ones, and I was like, babe, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Frito pies?
Yeah, bro. You don't know what that is? Do I need to explain?
You might.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all not from the South like that.
They don't know what I'm dead.
They missing something. Good old Frito pie.
Yeah. Frito pies are where you have the Fritos, right? And I get some people may get the plain ones, but I get the barbecue ones, and then you put chili on it, and then you put cheese. For me, I do chili, cheese, and jalapenos. Some people do others. Some people do it with Doritos. Put chili in the Dorito bag and put some cheese. Yeah, make it like some nachos in a bag, so to speak. But the Frito pie, you know what I'm saying? That's the one that hit the spot real quick.
That sounds like a hit. That sounds like a hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially with the jalapenos. I don't know if everybody do jalapenos, but the jalapenos give a little spice to it. Yeah. There you go. Back and better than ever. There you go with that.
Right on time.
Listen, right on time and on mute. You know what I'm saying? Like you are consistency, bro. How's it going, Dwayne?
Living it.
Hey, we talking about love languages right now. Then we're gonna transition. So, do you Well, I don't know if you have a love language, but we'll try to see. Like, what's your love language, homie?
I'd say act of service.
That's it. You done.
Yeah, keep it real nice and simple. Yeah.
So where would you put sex as in the love language group? Because we
Isn't
have
that an
said
act of service?
Told y'all.
that was the question. Where is it lined up at? What
What you mean?
category does it go in? So you gonna ask some service?
Yeah.
Mistaken said gift giving.
I mean, because ain't that what is it?
Giving or receiving, wouldn't that be different in terms of how you view it?
He don't know how to process.
If you're giving,
Mess his whole mind up. You know what I'm saying?
I guess
Somebody
if you're
said it could
giving,
be
it's acts of
affirming.
service. If you're receiving, is a gift.
If you're giving it, it could be a gift.
Come on, please.
If you're a giver, yeah.
That's true.
If you're a giver, yeah. Is that what he
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Dwayne, you didn't know what you walking into this evening. Hey, so we're gonna transition. We're gonna start with it like this. I had watched the video. Some of y'all may or may not have seen it with Channing Crowder on the pivot. And he was talking about how people just kind of give up on relationships too soon, and that you should love their crumbs. So that's what came to mind when we, I'm a big proponent of marriages and trying to make sure that they're better. And so he said you should love their crumbs. And I want you to talk to me about what you think. How would you define loving their crumbs in a relationship? Right? How would you describe that? And we'll go back to the old form, which y'all calling somebody, and then you can call on the next person. Right? So I give you some think time. I learned this in one of my classes today. Let people think and ponder it. Mistaken know about that, the think time when we in class and everything. And then we're gonna start with lost in translation.
You know what? Here's the thing. What I think it means. Sometimes I look at a person as a cake. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to get the icing. Everybody wants to get the cake. You know what I mean? And then when you're done, there's the crumbs. You know what I mean? The leftover parts, the parts that nobody really pays attention to after they enjoyed the major portions of somebody. Love the crumbs too. You know what I mean? Show appreciation for the whole person and not just the major parts that people love in. You know, people like to fall in love with provision. You know what I mean? And protection when it comes to men, and men like to fall in love with women's bodies and all this other stuff. But sometimes you got to love the idiosyncrasies. You know what I mean? The things that makes them different and sometimes even hard to love. You got to love that too, because that's a part of them. So when you say love their crumbs, love the parts that, that most people don't think about, the little smaller things. And I'm going to go with Ash this time.
I don't like you. You took everything. Makes me sick. But I love you though. Just to piggyback what he said, I agree with Lost in Translation there, whatever his name is. You got to love the parts that does not lovable to me. When the crumbs is what you got on them days that you can't give no more, you don't have no fumes to go be 175%. It's them days you running at 5, 10, 2%. Those to me are the crumb days. The days where it's hard, you don't even love yourself that day and you just ready to give it all up. But your partner come in and give you that little love, that little attention that gets you back in your mind frame that you need to be in and complete whatever task. And since he was late, and I always get picked on because I'm late, I'm gonna go with Dwayne.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay. So I was thinking, since I saw the thumbnails and I saw crumbs, I was like, man, crumbs. Why? But then immediately I thought about when Jesus was talking to the lady about the food that was supposed to be for the Jews, but yet she was looking for just the crumbs. And she was like, "Hey, just hey, all I'm asking for is the crumbs, right?" And sometimes, especially like looking at it from the perspective of a relationship, we don't want the crumbs. Like what Lost in Translation was saying. Hey, give me the whole cake. And if I don't get the cake, guess what? And you're gonna give me the crumbs, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset. And guess what? I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. But whenever you love someone, like you should be willing to get the crumbs. And let me tell you about a good meal. Speaking about that Frito pie, if it was hitting, if it was hitting, boy, you ain't ashamed to get that thing off in that bowl, get that the last scoop, just if it's that good. So I look at it from that perspective. Let's go
Who
with
you got next?
let's go with Mistaken.
I guess it's pretty much what other people were saying. But what stuck out to me is I look at the crumbs as the broken pieces. So I think that is what that means, is to love those broken pieces, because when it's whole you don't know it, right? But when it's broken, that's when you get the crumbs. So I think that's when you get the person's hurt, when you get, their trauma, when you need to love all of those things too, because that encompasses the whole person. So that's kind of the way I looked at that. I'm gonna go with Lady Di.
So my answer is going to be very different, because when I hear crumbs, I hear nonsense. Like, I got to deal with your anger issues. We not dealing with none of that. We going to help you fix it. And then that's fine. So I don't, but I mean, I'm looking at it in a different way. What everyone says sounds nice, and that's something that we do in our house. But as far as crumbs in that aspect, no, I'm not gonna like it. We could just toss it in the trash. I don't eat all my crumbs. When it comes to the food I eat, it depends on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So some things can go in the trash, and some things we can cherish. Some things, sometimes them crumbs, like when you eat the cheese puffs, the thick one, them be good. But sometimes it's not
Just
always
had some of those today.
yeah. So um I don't agree with it all the way, because what happens too is that if we start loving these, let's say traumas, I guess would be a better term, then people get stuck in it. And we don't want people to get stuck in it. We want people to get away from it and kind of be different, change. And I'm not talking about perfect, because you can't be perfect at all. But when you're stuck in something that is toxic, is what I'm looking at it in that way. You don't need that. You just need to fix it. So that's how I look at it.
Who you got going next?
Sorry. Prototype.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Lady Di. When I think about crumbs, and as mistaken, also referred to it as the traumas and the negative parts of you. No, I'm not. I'm not good with that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got traumas and stuff you need to deal with, then I might help you fix a few. You know what I'm saying? But if you get like if you give me attitude, I'll be back into you. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll come back when that attitude is gone and make sure like you good. I bet. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gone. All right, I'll be back again. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not good with dealing with crumbs like that. You know what I'm saying? I like my people whole. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not a crumb kind of a person, and I'm not gonna love the crumbs. I might help you fix it, and what I'm saying, I might glue some stuff together. But all that, trauma, listen, y'all already know like your feet gotta be pretty for me. So you know what I'm saying? So if you can't have ugly feet, then all that emotional stuff where you can't control your temper, or you got attitude, or you don't know how to talk, or you don't listen, or you're not cooperative, or you don't know how to, just anything that I don't really approve of. I'm not dealing with it. So no, I like my people whole. I like whole cakes, please.
I wanted to say something to that. So basically, like, I'm not a half-ass person. I don't like that, because if you're gonna do something, you should do it right. If you can't do it, let me know, and I will take care of it. That's how I look at it. It's like you got to come correct, and I feel like that's all the time, because to me, your marriage is stronger in that way. It's like you're not arguing as much, because you guys are trying to work together. But when you start lacking, you get used to the lacking. And you don't need that in a marriage. You want to make sure that you are kind of, at your best as much as you can, not those sick days or when you had a bad day, sure. But you let your person know you got a bad day. You don't need them to take your crumbs. You need them to take you as who they married you as, because it becomes a sweeter and less argumentative life. So
Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah, all y'all raised some very, very good points. I definitely like laid guys and prototypes take on it. And I kind of agree with both everybody's, but I was thinking, trying to do the analogy of like the crumbs, all crumbs aren't created the same. You know what I'm saying? So like some meals.
So are you saying all crumbs don't matter? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Because some crumbs don't even make it onto the plate. You know what I'm saying? When you get a slice of cake, you know what I'm saying? Some things break off, hit the table, hit the ground. Some get caught up in your beard. You know what I'm saying? Everything you don't eat everything on the thing, even if it tastes good. Some things aren't even supposed to have crumbs on it. And it looks suspicious if it's crumbly. It's not supposed to be crumbly. So I would say that the crumbs can be like the shadow parts of ourselves, parts of ourselves that we necessarily either need to heal or haven't healed, that can perhaps provide like a. I'm talking like a therapist here. Provide like a negative. Damn, I want to say this. I'm just going to say that the crumbs can represent like a little treat at the end, like to Dwayne's point about if that joint tastes good, you're gonna get into them corners. But sometimes it's not supposed to have crumbs, or the meal is big enough that I'm full, I don't want the crumbs, and that's okay as well. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. Anybody had anything to add or ask?
Yeah, I'm gonna add something to it.
Okay.
Add something to what Prototype said, and what Lady Di said earlier. They talked about not accepting the crumbs. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of story. There's this art in Japan called kintsugi. Basically, what it is that the repair of ceramics, and what they do is they highlight the cracks and the bits of broken pieces with gold. You know what I'm saying? And what that does, it actually makes the pottery more beautiful than what it was before. So instead of throwing away those pieces and leaving that bowl jagged and edged and useless, it doesn't hold water anymore. When we use love as gold to fill in those places where people are broken, that leaves them better and more beautiful before than where they were. And I'm so glad that God didn't leave us in pieces, and he decided to love us whole with all our jagged pieces and fix it with love. So I think we need to get back to loving everybody and inserting love where that gold is, like they do in that Japanese pottery, to make sure that we love everybody. And not only that, it makes them better and it makes them who they are. All the pieces that go into who they are, even the gold and the love, it leaves them more beautiful than they were before, even the broken pieces.
So I'll add on to that, right? And where that gold is filled into those broken crevices, that bowl is now functional as a bowl again. You know what I'm saying? It's whole. It's
Right.
healed. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you can't have anything, you can't have everything not happen to you. I'm saying you got to come healed though. You know what I'm saying? So not controlling your temper and not controlling, your mouth, and you know what I'm saying, and not knowing how to not having like emotional intimacy or emotional intelligence, like that's a broken person. Like I might deal with it for a little bit, but like I said, if you can't, what I'm saying, if I draft a QB, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna work with you, and you know what I mean, for the first 2 years, and after that 2 years, I'm gonna have to draft another one to trade you out. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not dealing with that. If you can't grow with this, then no, we're not going there.
Lost in translation actually. Well, I wasn't going to say about the goal. You hit that. That was great. But that was the premise of what he was saying was why I said I thought crumbs, like you is those broken pieces, and you love that anyway. And love includes correction as well. It doesn't mean you stay broken, but you love me enough to make those corrections. You love me through my brokenness, like you mirror. I know a lot of you guys are Christians, and that's kind of like the love that God shows us, is that he loves us through our brokenness. He doesn't leave us there, and I think when we're in relationship with one another, especially as a husband and wife, that we are loving the broken pieces of that person, because we know to some degree without those pieces, that still encompasses them as a whole. We can't just say I love this about you, but I don't love you, so I'm gonna just discard the entirety. Like, I know this cookie gonna have crumbs, so I ain't gonna eat the cookie. Like, you figure those things out, and that correction, like you're saying, is that thread. Like, I love this piece so much that I want to save it. It may not look the way that it did when it first came to me. It's broken, it's chipped, but I'm gonna fill these spaces in. And like you said, sometimes when you're loving a person through their brokenness, they end up being better than what they was before. Like with Prototype saying, I'm not going to be there so long. But when we look at a lot of times there's healing that needs to be done in ourselves, but that other person is loving us through that as well. I'm quite sure for anybody, I'm speaking to myself, but even for Prototype, there's probably areas that your wife struggle with you, as a husband. But when she look at you in the totality of the person that you are, she can deal with that other part of you that she really don't like. You understand what I'm saying? And I think everybody comes with that. Is the total picture. I look at the total cookie. Yes, that cookie's good, but then those little bits and pieces, those crumbs, I can do without, but I know that that's going to come along with eating the cookie.
Speaking about eating the cookie, I look at it like this too. Not like that, yo. I saw that smile,
Pause.
boy, yeah. No, ain't no pause on that, but
Fast forward.
Yeah, no. If in that situation, I was looking at like you're going through something, and sometimes we leave people like that's how what I was perceiving it as. It's like leaving someone when they tripping, like you going through something. I think it's an imperative for you to even be surrounded by people who want to help you get through that. Sometimes you need that reassurance, that counsel, that love. So I was thinking from an individual standpoint, that's important. But I was thinking about Psalms 23. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall not fear evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and that staff shall comfort me. And sometimes we be tripping. I don't know who on this panel don't be tripping or have those moments where we straight tripping, where we can identify I was tripping, right? That's crumbs. That's crumbs. Like that's not perfection. That's not whole. So I think as in individuals, we can have crumbles. As in our relationships, we could have crumbles. But in it, it's like God Himself don't leave us like that. So some people go through stuff. So I do think that, especially in a marriage, you have to be there as they're going through those things. And just like what y'all were saying, like love, man, love covers a multitude of sins. So in it, my goodness. And again, I'll raise my hand. I be struggling on this. Because just like, like the kid be being bad and you be like, you know what? All right, I'm going to leave you. But you got to go back for him.
Right.
Dang. Come on, man. I digress.
Okay, so y'all know I got to play devil's advocate because that's what I do. Okay, when you're talking about these crumbs, some people don't see it as a crumb. Some people take it as a whole. So Where the way I look at it is, yes, you're broken, or may this piece may not be all the way fixed. However, how long am I supposed to stay and love you when you don't see nothing wrong? Because there's nothing wrong with what y'all said. I can totally agree. Yeah, you gotta love, put a little gold on it, shine it up, make it look something, or turn it around so the crack don't show to everybody, show the nice polished side. But at the same time, if you find that I'm trying to help you in the struggle, and every time we address one crack, you expose another. When I'm gonna get tired of playing Mrs. Fix It? See, we are told that we gotta love these people through their brokenness. I'm fine with that. I'm down with it. But so long, I'm gonna start to break. Then, like you said, Dwayne, I'm tripping now because I can't give you the love because I didn't gave it all out. Or this day, I'm done bugged out because I done had enough. Because at the end of the day, I tell you, the title I'm tired of is strong, black, independent woman. I'm so sick of that because at the end of the day, how in the heck are you supposed to go in day out and you have nobody pouring into you, but you're pouring out? I understand, yeah, you're married, you got a spouse, but some days the pouring just ain't finna happen. Ain't nobody ready to lift that hand up. So you get these people, we always say, come here, come ready. Yeah, a lot of people don't find nothing wrong with it because they look at themselves and be like, well, my mama did it this way, my granny did it this way, my auntie did it this way, my daddy did it this way. We fine. This how this gonna work. But it don't. I learned that at early age before I even was trying to settle down. That doesn't work because that person wasn't raised like that. That person wasn't involved in that household. So when y'all say crumbs and try to fix them up like this mural over there in Asia, some of these people can be fixed. I'm just gonna be honest. Some of these people ain't willing to be fixed or allow you to love them. It's like you're trying to love them and fix them. Play Mrs. Fix It with their 1977 dudes, but they just don't make that part no more. You just got to go ahead and roll it over there, and just let it be eye candy. Because sometimes it just doesn't work. And I think a lot of times that's where women fall short at is we get with these people and we think we can fix them. Yeah, you can pray, worship, what is it? Do all your stuff, do all your magical healing. But at the end of the day, if that person is not receiving it and they taking it as you're going against them, what are you supposed to do? Because a lot of times that's where we fall short in a relationship. We done gave our all. We don't love them like our parents loved us. But being that they don't know that love from the start, they don't know what we doing. They feel like it is witchcraft or we trying to take them out of one element and put them another. But you're just actually just trying to love them, trying to show them what whole look like. But a lot of times these people got blinders on. So what? So do you continue to fight, or do you continue to fight yourself? And at the end of the day, that's where we get the bitter black woman because she done gave all this love and nobody told her to leave. Nobody told her to leave. Nobody told her to start loving herself because sometimes them cracks you just can't feel.
Now, are you seeing the crumbs before the marriage or after? Because I think that makes a difference. Because when you go like into, let's say, a bakery, you have a case full of cookies, cakes, all of those things. You know what I'm saying? That you can choose from. But then once you make the decision to say, I want this cake or this cookie, then I do think it is on you to then deal with the crumbs that is going to go along with the choice that you made.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. After you done bought your cookie, maybe the bakery, the person that's handling your cookie, done hit it a little bit, done knocked a little piece off that you didn't see. It was whole when you got it, but then all of a sudden, when you open the container, there's some crumbs there. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. You done cheated me. Now I got to work hard to get these crumbs up to make this whole. That's what I'm saying because everybody don't expose their hand. Come on, let's be honest. Everybody, when you get with them, we all put on the presentation that we're selling, So sometimes you get into the marriage and then you get a hot and Jekyll.
Well, you have to learn. So, like when you're young, yeah, you'll get into a situation too fast. But as you get older, you have to take your time and like be with somebody because all them crumbs is gonna be there in those couple of years that you with them. And then that's when you say, okay, am I gonna be able to? Or then you'll say for Ash, is this person going to listen to when I say, hey, this is something that you need to work on. Let me help you with that. Then you could determine the type of person that you have because you are right. Everybody is not willing to correct themselves. So you leave them people alone, because that's called toxic relationship. But you got to get with people who are just stable minded. They understand what's going on with life and they want a better life. And then you could pick that person with these so-called crumbs. But honestly, before you get married, you should be fixing all of them, not all the crumbs, but you should be fixing most of them crumbs in the relationship before you say I do, or before a man even asks you. Because if not, you expecting people to change in the marriage, and half the time it ain't happening. So it's kind of like you gotta be really wise with that. So when it comes to the crumbs thing, everybody has crumbs, yes, but what type of crumbs are you gonna choose to eat? Because we not eating all of them.
You know what? If we're being honest,
Oh,
if like Ashley said, if we're being honest, sometimes we're the ones who cause the crumbs.
Exactly.
You
That's what I was
understand what I'm
about to
saying?
say.
We're the ones that
Watch
caused
how
the
you handle
crumbs.
me now.
yes,
You're the one who cut into them and broke them. You see
yes.
what I'm saying?
That's
So my
exactly
thing is,
what I was
if you're the one who caused the crumbs, then it's up to you to take accountability for what you did and fix it. Sometimes it's not the baker's fault. You know what I'm saying? When they walked out of that restaurant, the cake was in good order. It wasn't until it was in your hands that it fell apart. It wasn't until your hands that it was not taken care of. It wasn't until it got in your hands that when you cut into it, the crumbs showed up. So if we're gonna be honest about this thing, sometimes we got to make sure that we look at ourselves and how we carry ourselves and how we care for other people, and stop blaming them for the damage that we caused, if we're being real about it.
Yep. I don't know if y'all ever had some cupcakes that was left in the car. That ice cream starts sagging off that joker.
Right.
Was it the baker's fault? No, you left it in the car.
No,
Okay.
it's the baker's fault. He should have told me these
But
go in the refrigerator immediately.
So, oh, hold on. But also with that, some packages be having a little fragile logo on it, right? Handle with care. And I use this person. Hey, watch how you handle me. And
That's right.
in turn, like just like what you were saying earlier, like this is how I grew up, right? So we sitting there handling people all rough and stuff, rough and tough, and realizing, hey, they done told you that they were fragile from the beginning. You done knew that they were fragile from the beginning, but then you ain't putting up with too much, right? So you start handling with carelessness. And I think just like what Lost in Translation was saying, and then you end up being the one causing the damage, because guess what? Everyone is right in their own mind, right? So this is how it's supposed to go. This is how it's supposed to be, blah, 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 blah. And then it ends up going awry. But I also didn't say this. HD, we had a conversation earlier this week. And he said, what did Jesus say on the cross? After he was done toe up and all that, he said, Lord, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And sometimes whenever in those situations, and the reason why I say it, whenever people make crumbs out of us, right? They take what's whole in which we got and then they break it up. Or whenever we do it to each other. So if it can be done to us, like, can we consider that we may be doing it to other people? Like and in that, right? Just like how you can be broken up, you can also build up. There's a time where there's the crumbs start falling down, and you touch the tip of your finger and you start tapping it against the table, collecting them, bringing it back. Right. Sometimes you gotta be.
It's still delicious, man. It's still delicious. Let's be real.
So I wanted to say something to that. I'm going against it once again. So how I look at it is, and this is from my experience, I'm not just talking. My experience is I've been through trauma when I was young. But when I got older, I said, ain't nobody going to put me through no trauma. I don't care what you do, unless it's physical. You know how you physically harm somebody, right? I can't get rid of that. Emotionally, it's so-so. But even with emotions, you got to watch how you let people get into you. Sometimes we take things too serious, and then, yeah, you're going to get trauma because you shouldn't have taken it to heart. So when you become an adult, ain't no such thing as somebody putting trauma on me. I don't care what you do. So to me, that's not really a reason. There's no one that's going to be able to just that's like, okay, lost in translation, right? That's like someone comes up to you and they say something that may be true that no one knows, but they know you and they know how to get you angry. I don't know you, but I don't think you'll be the one that just let them make you angry. Like, why did you say that? And you kind of get upset and fight. You're not going to allow them to get you angry. What they said, okay, it could have hurt you for a second, but you understand that they may be, I guess, broken or toxic. So you don't let toxic people make you toxic, and now you kind of go on with them. You kind of like be the better person and like, okay, obviously they're hurt from something, I'm gonna let that slide. And if they do it again, you know not to be around them no more. So we have to learn how to not allow people to put trauma on us and make us crumbs. So I don't agree with it in that sense. I look at it very differently. I've been hurt when I was young, and I'm not having it happen to me now. And
That's
this is
what's up.
men and women.
Brandon, what you got on it, man?
Well, all a lot of excellent points. A lot of excellent points. I was thinking back to, I can't remember who was talking about it. Who was saying something about like how we respond. Like what we experienced growing up, and we just repeating the cycle, kind of. And I was thinking about like a lot of Black people's behaviors is low-key trauma responses from olden times, and we don't even know why we do what we're doing now. We just know that like our mama did us like that, her mama did it like that, and her mama did it like that, and we don't even know why we're doing it, but it's not giving us the outcomes that we're looking for. I say a lot of times with behavior in the Black community is it's normal, but it's not natural. I'm saying? A lot of the trauma that we speak of, it's been normalized in the Black community, but it's not normal. But we think it has been normalized, but it's not natural. But we think it's natural because that's all we know. And trying to pull apart what's natural versus what's normal is a task. It's a task, because first we got to be able to recognize if like this is something that like this is normal in the community, but not necessarily something that we should be doing or engaging in the future, versus this is something that everybody do. And I don't think we don't know that. So right now we're just walking over landmines and just kind of just not knowing what the hell is going on. We're just trying to figure it out as we go. And it's gonna take a little while. It's gonna take generations more further for us to really dismantle that, and a lot of people gonna get their legs blown off, metaphorically, before we get to a place where we are good. Additionally, I was going to say trauma. A lot of people use trauma a little too loosely when it comes to our experiences. Trauma is not the same thing as somebody did you dirty. That's not, you weren't traumatized by someone doing you dirty. Trauma is a neurological, your mind is messed up. You can see it on an MRI type. Like, that's not the same thing. So I just wish that we can use the word trauma and what it does, a little less loosely than what we do. It's kind of like how everyone is using the mental health issue stuff. Like everybody is
a narcissist.
Narcissist, and you know what I'm saying, like it's like we don't really understand what a narcissist really is, and it ain't that common. That's all.
That's good that you
think that everybody vocabulary, it goes to their benefit. Like everybody want to play the victim, and now we have these nice new words that we can put on it. Not to downplay nobody's situation, because we wasn't there, but I just think nowadays it's, oh, you're hurting me, let me grab this title. Oh, you're hurting me, you can't do that to me. Like now it's like you can't say nothing. What happened to the freedom of speech? Oh, you're messing with my mental health. No, baby, you just don't like what I'm saying. And I had to tell people a lot of times, it's not what I said. You just don't like what I'm saying because it goes against what you thinking. It's okay. Like now we don't have the ability to say it's okay to disagree. Now we're a union, and that's how we're moving. And that's the problem, is everybody want to attach these nice little labels to make it okay. It's not okay. Baby, sit down somewhere. Yes, we all have trauma or have things that have happened that we have to work on. I'm still working on it about while being a parent. And that's when you're really questioning is how you parent from the trauma. No, it's the life experience. You have to know that this type of experience don't need to go no further than you. It's called separation. That's where a lot of us get it wrong at. We like the words because the words make us the victim. The words make our bad behavior okay. It gives the excuse instead of us having to fix. That's the problem. Nobody want to fix it. It's like, if I can play the victim, my hands are tied. It's like this. I don't have to do anything. It wasn't me. But at the same time, how do you go into the community, talk to children, go be around somebody else's children, and your hands tied? You may need to catch something. You may need to move something, but your hands tied. How? And I just feel like if we move away from being oversensitive, because this is pretty much what it is, and start actually, like Lost in Translation said, loving each other and trying to help, we could do something. But at the same time, we can't do nothing if we got everybody's hands tied in this nice little bow of help me because I'm a victim.
Before we move on, did you want to say something, Prototype?
Yeah. So complaining about people acting like they're traumatized or whatever, right? Like they might be completely wrong, but if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. And right or wrong, I don't think we're in a place to tell people if they're traumatized or not. I think we need to take, the ones with common sense need to take into account that this person don't got it all. And trying to help this person understand how to have it all is way more work than we need to put in. So, with that said, if somebody is displaying something like, "Oh, I'm hurt, I'm traumatized, this or that," and whatever it might be, and they're using those little words that they can now put labels on, people with common sense should like, "Hey, this is a sign that this person's not functioning correctly. I need to get away from this person." You know what I'm saying? Trying to love somebody through this that's delusional this way is going to make us crazy. So keep your sanity, get out of their way and let them keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And just do what's best for you and your sanity. Like I spent a lot of time trying to fix people. You know what I'm saying? And it put so much bearing on my own mental health that I don't have at this point in my life the mental capacity to take on other people's trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that for a long time of trying to make sure everybody was happy. You know what I'm saying? Or you just need to talk to them this way, or we got to get everybody to understand. Bogus. You know what I'm saying? It's way too much mental work on yourself. You end up always losing on. You always end up on the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? You realize somebody's crazy, let them be crazy, and you move on.
That's what's up,
My
Lady Di.
words exactly. I feel the same exact way. And I think that's why my answer was different. Because you ever been hurt trying to help somebody? Like you see that they just need this couple of things and we gonna get you there. I remember I'm sweating and helping to get this person where they need to be for months. And it's like a slap in the face when they was just like, nah, you know, it's so bad that the insanity part for yourself is not healthy. I'm not saying that I don't help anybody now. I do. Obviously, I'm on the panel, right? But I'm saying like I only help people who want to be helped or who have interest or they ask or they inquire, a little hint of something. So I'm wise with how I do it now.
My bad. Let me jump in real quick because another one of the little buzzwords is as I'm hearing y'all go is it's triggered, and I think it is an important thing to be able to as for those traumas. Traumas are the things that triggers us. So something will happen, and then these things, and going back to um, the issues that happened as a child, and we believe that we fixed them. I think some of those things can then be brought back to the surface, like as much as we may think they were fixed. And in that, it's a good thing to have people that are willing to be able to point it out to you, right? Because how can you fix something that you're not aware of? So if you're doing it in love, being like, hey, I notice you these things whenever we touch certain things, like there something happens. Have you looked into that? And that in itself is like, why is it that you got that hairpin trigger? Because sometimes people don't even know that they shooting themselves in the foot, right? I look at it like the old Western, right? They quick on the draw, but right as they're getting that gun out that holster, they shooting themselves in the foot. And it's that self-destructive behavior that then happens because these traumas that they are dealing with. But if you love them, you'll be able to point it out to them because, hey, some people do. Hey, you shake your head, prototype. Some people do have the maladaptive behavior, right? Where they do things that are completely against their self-interest. Sometimes, yeah, you do got to leave that alone and you let it go. But I think it is important. Like I care about people. So like I'll point it out to you and you do with it what you may, right? And just as long as you're not hurting other people around you. But most of the times people are just hurting themselves, and then they end up hurting people around them. But once you point it out to them. And then the last thing, there's sometimes, and I know y'all could go back and you could look when you were going through your tripping stage, right? And somebody said something to you. And then you could go back after you done slip, stumbled, bust your head and all that other stuff. And they warned you. They told you, hey, you tripping. And you could go back and you could pinpoint when that person told you you were tripping, but you just couldn't believe it. How much appreciation do you have for that person after the fact?
I called and apologized and said, you're right.
Yep.
It depends.
I've
I mean,
done
because
it.
more than likely though, it's not appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's these people that have like strongholds on you, like your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad. You know what I'm saying? People who got soft spots, who know that you're soft on them and will manipulate. Oh, they'll always try to help you. You know what I mean? People I don't help out of jail. You know what I mean? Like they'll call me like, "Hey, could you, help me out of jail? It's just this one time. I ain't never seen that money." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always like that. It's those people that you think that you could help, or all they need is one more chance. You're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to lose a lot of resources at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just not worth the struggle. It's really not.
You know what? In cases like that, what you want to do is you want to allow them to fix themselves. And I'm going to tell you why. If they really want to fix themselves, they'll spend money on themselves to fix themselves. You understand what I'm saying? If you know you need therapy and you still don't go, guess what? You know you need therapy. You just decided not to pay for it. I don't suggest that y'all do that. You know what I mean? That was not the gist of the conversation. The gist of the conversation is if you wrong somebody, you fix it. Now, if you came broken, you need to fix yourself before you get into a union with somebody else because you knew that crack was there. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is this. If we cause somebody harm, it's up to you to fix it because it's your responsibility. But if you came already broken, it is your responsibility to make sure that you get the help that you need. But the thing about what Dwayne said, you have to be aware that you need it first. You know what I mean? And sometimes you may need that push to say, hey, look, you need to take a look at this, and this is the reason why this is not going that way. Here's a number, call these people. They can help you. You know what I mean? And leave it at that. And if they really want it, then they'll spend the money on it. If they don't, that's on them.
That's what's up. Go ahead, Miss A.
Oh, I was gonna say what he just said reminded me of, I don't know why this popped into my head, but like y'all ever had a situation like, I don't know, I call it the booger on the nose syndrome, where you have the booger on the nose, but nobody says nothing to you, so you don't know it's there. And so you walking around like you're good until somebody finally points it out. And then you're aware, so then you can do something to remove it. And I think a lot of times that is what happens to us when we have trauma or hurt that we don't recognize because we've buried it so deep. We've learned how to build walls around it. We've learned how to tuck it away, stuff it away, cover it, do all of those things and operate in a world, even though we're still carrying that around, until sometimes it takes us meeting that partner, meeting that, like I find that my husband has been able, I mean, like they become that mirror, like where things that I did not know I had an issue with was now an issue. And I did not know, but he was the one that challenged me to say, nah, B, this isn't good. You need to work on that. This is unacceptable. Like you really need to work on that. Like my biggest thing was being defensive every time it would be something that, if he pointed the booger out on my nose, what are you talking about? Like it wasn't a problem before, like one of those, just being defensive, until I realized that, again, how we bring it back to earlier about loving the crumbs. Those aspects of who I am were those crumbs, and he loved me enough to say, listen, you need to clean this up. I didn't make this mess, but now I'm dealing with it. But it is your mess to clean. But I'm telling you where the mess is. Here's where the mess is that you need to clean up. So it wasn't that he just accepted the fact that I got defensive, or anytime he says something that he'll just back. No, it was just like, this needs to be fixed. But I needed somebody to point the booger out on my nose so I can clean it. Instead of him being the person like, oh, she got a booger on her nose. Let me be like everybody else. Let her keep walking around with the booger on her nose. So I think sometimes we need to, like you said, not get in too deep to the point that we end up hurting ourselves by hurting somebody else. But the way that we can help is by actually pointing certain things out and then let them do the work to fix it. I can give you resources like, man, I know where you can go. Is this therapist here, that you might want to go to? Oh, you ain't got the money? Oh, well, is this agency that you can go to that helps cover, the payments on a sliding scale fee. So those are ways that you can help where you're not investing too much time and money. And if they're serious about wanting to clean those areas up, then they'll do the rest of the work.
What about when they be like, yeah, I'm gonna clean it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna follow your advice, and they all they're gonna do is just walk you some more, walk you a couple more months, walk you a year.
Well, in that point, you wouldn't be walking because you gave them the resources. So at that point, it's on them to take those steps. Doesn't mean you're stepping with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they're going and say, yo, I set this appointment, do you mind going with me? Then I would say go ahead and take that walk with them. But you want to make sure that they initiate that process of self-work, taking that first step. So then that way you can be sure that they are serious about investing in themselves to get fixed. When they're not. Like, there's been plenty of times that I'd be like, man, I want to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to go to the gym. And husband's like, all right, where you going? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I'm busy. So he knows when I'm serious about something versus where I'm at a stage where I'm thinking about it, but I'm really not mentally there yet to start doing the work. And when I'm mentally there with start doing the work, I get that support from him.
Mm.
He knows that I'm not really there. He'd be like, okay, all right, let me know when you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he knows. So I think that's kind of the same thing. You give them the resources, and when they're serious about taking the necessary steps to start making change, they're not going to look to you to do that because you've already given them resources. I have this here, let me utilize it. And then be that support for them as they're, doing the work.
That's good. Hey, y'all have been on a roll because y'all definitely somewhere in a different country from the question that was posed in the beginning. But however, it has been such an incredible conversation because y'all spit out some gems that I didn't want to interrupt y'all, because y'all was doing really good. And so as always, I really appreciate y'all time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel and everybody that's on the platform this evening as well. We got one last question, and it was similar to what y'all kind of already alluded to, but I wanted to try to get some more specifics. The first question was talking about what's your love language and what are people's love language. And if you know or you don't know, we typically love people in the way that we want to be loved, right? And that's the mistake, right, that we make, right? So my question to the panel is, and it's a free for all. How would you want your spouse or future spouse to deal with your inconsistencies?
I can go on that one. I can go with that one. Call me out. Like, anytime that you know that I'm wrong, call me out. Because I feel like with me, with my poor choices, it's like they want to walk on eggshells. And then when we get to that boiling point, then you want to speak out. No, no, no. Call me out right then and there. Because sometimes the way I operate is I'm systematic. So if this system is working for me, I'm going to continue to roll with it and just add you in where I can get you in, but sometimes that doesn't work for you, or that's not how you see things need to be moving. So call me out. That's the only thing I can say. Get with me. If I say something slick with you, say something slick with me. Like Miss Taken was saying, when I say I need to lose this weight before DOT time, say something about it. Like, don't let me sit here and just be like, oh my God, DLT coming up. Man, I got to drop this pound. We can't eat this, putting everybody else on my diet plan when I could have been working out prior to this. Like, just call me out, hold me accountable. I don't mind it because I'm pretty sure I'm going to hold you accountable. And you got about 6 months to fix it until I get mad. When mad day come, because everybody got mad day. Cause it's just like you just let little things just build up and then it's mad day. I don't want a mad day. Like if we're being together, we're trying to do long term, we need to be able to not have a mad day and just blow up everything like a throw up. Just go ahead, let's talk about this now. If this aggravated you then, let me know then, right now. Like, hey, send me a text. Hey Ash, this didn't work. Like, I don't know what your problem was, who pissed you off on the bus, but hey, when you get home, we need to handle this right here. Cause this not happening no more. Because I think that when we get with somebody, we want to treat them as fragile. No, because y'all see how I talk. I'm a little rough. Hey, get with me. I don't mind because that's what I'm used to. That's the people in my family. We all crack jokes. We all rough. So trying to be all delicate with me, don't do that. Because when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm right, hey, I'm right. And y'all know I always say 99.9% of the time I'm wrong. So hey, call me out.
It's anybody. It's on you. Whoever.
So I will fall along the same lines, like, you know, pull me aside, and well, not, you don't really got to pull me aside, but let me know I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you know if you're right about me being wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I have enough common sense to be like, yeah, I was wrong for XYZ, or letting you know I don't care that I'm wrong, or you know what, I don't think your judgment of me is right, so I'm still right. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. But yeah, I definitely need truthful, honest. You know what I mean? Like even like when I'm working out or whatever, I'll look in the mirror and be like, I'm trash. You know what I'm saying? My wife gets on me all the time about it. Like, why do you tell yourself that? Because right now I feel like I look trash. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. So be harsh.
I agree.
I
I
was going to
agree
say
with
for
that
me,
too.
oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Lady D.
Well, because I agree, I'll just say real quick, I agree with Ash and Prototype so far about it. Because I know, like, even from when I was younger, growing up, like the most strict um coaches or teachers, it seems like you get in line little bit faster, because sometimes the ones that be too nice, they're not really helping you. It's just like, okay, it's okay, you'll get there one day. No, 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 you got to push me to the extreme, and then I'm gonna get there faster, because the more I sit into my nonsense, the more I'm gonna be okay with it and settle in it. And then when it is time for me to change, I'm like, change what? It's been this long, I've been okay. I've been accomplishing this and that. But sometimes, not with everything, but sometimes it's like that extra push, I guess, tough love is always better. That's just from my experience. And I've seen it work out better that way overall.
Well, I was going to say for me, I specifically was going to say, deal with me through grace. That's how I want you to deal with my inconsistencies. That dealing with me in grace doesn't mean that you're giving me a pass at all. It just means in the way that you're calling me out on my inconsistencies, that you are being respectful in the way that you do it, that you're being considerate in the way that you do it. You're not intentionally trying to um hurt my feelings, you know what I'm saying? That you're being somewhat being patient, because I think sometimes what happens is we get so focused on the things about the other person that we don't like, and we want them to fix it because it bothers us so much, but not realizing that there are things about us that person is graciously dealing with and being patient with. And so the inconsistencies means that I'm going to need time to take the necessary steps. You can't expect a person that has been doing something for 30 years, 40 years, and it's been working for them to all of a sudden now change when they meet you, and then they're going to be able to change overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time. So in that time, you have to have grace. You have to have patience, because they're doing the same for you, even though you may not even realize it. um so I would say deal with my inconsistencies with grace.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off your mistaken because I'm gonna use what you were saying earlier. Except you were saying the booger, right? I use the breath, right? Because the booger don't really offend too many people but yourself. But if you walk around with your breath stinking, right, like you offended some people. So how do we feel whenever someone tells us your breath stinks? Not just how do we feel, it's how do we feel whenever they tell us in a graceful way or in a malicious way. Like, and expect, like what you were saying earlier, Ash. If somebody was like you in a crowd and they're like, "Damn, your breath stank," right? You didn't have to correct me right then and there like that. I feel what you're saying, but you could have did that. And I think there's a time and a place for it, right? And I think also mistaken with the with that booger and being a mirror, your spouse or other people being a mirror. Sometimes people can take that and they can either reflect on it or deflect on it. And whether or not what you're saying to them is true, it's up to them to receive it the way that they receive it. And for me, please be truthful with me. And that's how I look at it. Feel free to correct me, right? I'm not always right. I don't always have it together. So it's like that's my approach. Feel free to correct me, but I will say I am a little bit more receptive whenever it's with grace, but I'm not deflective if it comes with a little hardness, because in that, hey, sometimes you just, some people need to know about themselves, okay? All right. So however the package is delivered, I'll open it up. If I don't like it, I still receive it.
Is everybody went? Is it Brandon?
No, I ain't go. Yeah, so go. Yeah, I was going to say, just keep it 100 with me. Saying, tell me what I'm wrong. So especially if you're talking about a spouse or a future spouse, saying you are in a privileged position where you have the ability to come to me and tell me about these things, and I trust that what you are saying to me is not out of spite. You're not trying to hurt me. You only want to see me win. So I'm looking at any feedback that you give me in the aspect of like you notice a deficit in my game that you want me to, you want me to improve so I can be better. And when I'm better, we better. So and I'm only speaking for my future spouse, fiance, stuff like that. You've already been vetted. I already know you in a position where I can trust that what you're saying to me is in the best interest of myself and us. And so I want you to use those powers that I've invested into you for the good of us. So if I'm slacking, you tell me.
That's what y'all say. Okay. Is it on you, Lost in Translation?
Yeah, man. Throw me in the trash, man. Just get me away. I ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? All the crumbs and the pieces. Just get me in the trash. I need to get as far away from you as possible, because you didn't take care of me. You didn't love me enough to tell me, hey, this is what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So put me in the trash bag, throw me away. And when somebody who finds value in me goes to the trash, they're going to clean me up and they're going to fix me up, and I'm going to be where I need to be. So throw me away.
All right, man. This has been way to end the conversation, bro. Throw me away, put me in the trash, and let somebody else find me as treasure. I see you. All right. This has been wonderful. I appreciate you, people. I don't think in the beginning you all, told us where we can find you. So we're gonna go back around the horn and give a quick, okay, not the Pentecostal version. You know what I'm saying? Not give me like the first Twitter response. You know what I'm saying? When Twitter was new.
My gosh.
You know, I might even go to like when you first had your pager type response. You know, boy, because y'all be saying some things, man. I thought I talked a lot, but here we go. Right, Dwayne, we starting with you, my dude. What was your takeaway? Where can they find you?
You can find me. Oh no, that's character, not speed. I'm already over the character limit. Just for you, HD. Monday nights on HD's podcast around 9:30.
Because that's not when we start, but that's when you get here for sure.
You could also find me at Dwayne Jones Photography. One thing, take away from tonight. I like what you said, Brandon. You're in a privileged position. Privileged position. So I like that. Your spouse, the advice you get, and all that. Yeah. The advice you get, and the advice that you have the ability to give. You go from a privileged position. I like
That's
that.
what's up. On you, Brandon.
I would say, well, first of all, y'all can find me on IG, on YouTube, Buffet Podcast. Find us on Spotify and Apple podcasts as well. Also here on HD's podcast, usually every other Monday at this point. So what did I learn? One of my big takeaways from this is crumbs. All crumbs aren't made the same. Aren't made the same. That's what that's my big takeaway.
That's what's up. That dude learned what he said. Did y'all see that? That's awesome. Miss Taking on you.
With it.
You can find my IG at I Am Mistaken and on the Lapeef Network with Sheet Critique on Fridays around 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, whatever. But on Fridays, my takeaway is what Lost in Translation said in regards to sometimes you're the one that are creating the crumbs, so it's your responsibility to clean it up. So that was my takeaway.
That's what's up. Thanks for being here. Prototype on you.
Y'all can find me here on Mondays on Humble Dad. Man, you can find me Tuesday nights on Prototype Kingdom. There's a group of us, man. We like to have good conversation over there. You can find us on IG as well. You can find us on Spotify. We all over the place, man. Prototype Kingdom. Check us out. Subscribe. Lady down.
What's your takeaway? You had no takeaway today? He probably didn't.
Oh, my takeaway? Man, don't spend too much time trying to fix these broken crumbs.
All right, cool. Got it.
Hey, did you disagree today with anybody?
Yes.
Okay. I just
yeah. He was. We took shots for sure. Lay it down on you.
So I like everyone's perspective. It just gives more understanding of, people that you meet and insight. Everybody comes from a different walk of life, and that's amazing. You can find me at Lady Dy DTM, and that's everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, mostly YouTube. That's where you can find me. So we go live. Me and my husband go live on Saturdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And then I go live by myself on Thursdays, and it's for women to learn how to be wives. I'm starting a new series called Wife Training. Now, I've been doing this for a little while behind the scenes, but I wanted to bring it to the forefront and kind of get into it and try to help women understand what it means to be a wife. Not a wife like how I'm a wife to my husband, because I'm a wife to my husband because that's how he likes and what he, in his way. But just a wife, we all wives have basic, good wives have basic qualities, like it's all the same. So like, for example, me and Mistaken, I'm pretty sure we have similar qualities that our husband likes because it's a wife-like quality. So I'm just trying to help women understand that they need to have this in order to get married. So please join me on that. That is something new. I'll be doing it on Thursdays. Men and women are welcome. So yes, thank you for having me again, Humble Dad.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Lost in translation on you.
Thank you, sir. You can find me on Sundays and Fridays on my channel, Lost in Translation Podcast. You can also find me here on Mondays on Humble Dad channel and every day on Black Man Unfiltered channel. I'm there every single day. They say I don't get no days off, but I'm here working. And also you can find me on Instagram as well too, Lost in Translation Podcast _ in each word. The thing that I took away from today, man, is to make sure that we take care of the whole person and not just throw them away. I was just joking about going in the trash. Don't throw me away, man. Don't throw me in the trash. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this: make sure that everybody understands that different people come with different broken pieces. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we may need a little help along the way. So it helps to be there for people when you need them. And that's it. That's my takeaway.
That's what's up on you, Ash.
You can find me at 360.diva on Instagram. And also here on Monday nights when I get my invite. My biggest takeaway is every crumb ain't worth saving. Sometimes some certain thing goes in the trash. Don't spend too much time on it cleaning up. One swipe.
Man, what I learned this evening is that y'all did not agree on much today. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? The goal is still the same. The best part of being in a relationship is that it's you and them and nobody else matters. That's the main thing that needs to be focused on. But hopefully you all have taken something away from each and every individual that is likened to your situation, I would say. It's always, I think it talks about in the Bible that you should glean from individuals. Like you may not agree with everything that they say, but there should be something that they say that you can take away with. So without further ado, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, we out here. Deuces. The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.